Hey everyone, it's Greg from Hey Get With The Times. This video is for team leaders. This is the video that I promised you guys from the leadership meeting. I wanted to show you how to export your recruits from Brokermetrix and put them into eEdge and turn on a campaign. Unfortunately, I can only do half of that. I cannot get Brokermetrix to install on Windows 8. But I didn't want to delay the video. I wanted to at least get this out there for those of you who already know how to export out of Brokermetrix. And then in the next video, once I have access to it, I will show you how to export out of Brokermetrix. So we're going to pick up as if you had already exported from Brokermetrix. You have your list of people that you want to bring in. And one of the things that you have to remember when you're importing into eEdge is that you have to do it. There's two ways you can do it. One group at a time, or you would have to bring in everybody all at once and then one by one go through and set them into the groups that we talked about at the training the other day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in one group at a time. So the first thing that we need to do once we have exported our list is we open up eEdge, we hover over the word contacts, and we go down here to import/export. When I click on that, it takes me to the import tab. And I need this template right here. See, it says a template of this format can be downloaded here. Okay, custom import template. What I want you to do is right click on that. So just use the right mouse button and click. Hit save target as. Okay, when you do that, you're going to save this thing to your computer. I'm just going to save it to my desktop. Okay, because we're going to need this file. So I'm going to save it to my desktop and then I'm going to open it. Now, as you're going to see when I open this, it's going to open up in the Microsoft Excel. It's basically an empty spreadsheet with just one row filled out right here. And this row is real important. You cannot change this row. If you even just turn the capital F in first name into a lowercase f, it's not going to import for you. So whatever you do, don't mess with the top row. Don't delete any columns. Just leave this thing as it is. And what we need to do is we need to copy the information out of your exported file into eEdge. It's not that hard to do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up a file that would look a lot like the Brokermetrix file that you have. And we are going to grab one column at a time. We're going to grab the information that you're looking for. For example, column 1 on this spreadsheet is first name. So I'm going to grab all of these first names. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit copy, and then I'm going to go back to my template and I'm going to find the first name column. I'm going to go to B2. I'm going to stay right below the first name tab there, and I'm going to hit paste. Okay, do the same thing for the last name, and obviously I will do the same thing through the for all of the columns that I need. I'm just going to come into one and copy it. I'm going to come into the other one and I'm going to paste it. And I can take as many or as few columns as I need. For just sake of keeping this short, I'm just going to grab a few columns here. So let me grab the cell phones. And then again, I'm going to pop back into the template. And I'm going to search across the bottom, actually across the top, until I see cell phone. And so I'm going to go to V2. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit paste. Okay, now notice, see stuff like this where it says 4.01E plus 09? Don't worry about that. We'll fix that in just a couple of minutes, okay? Let's just grab the email addresses, and I'm not going to bother to bring in home addresses and things like that at this point. You get the idea of, I'm sure at this point, of how to copy and paste. So we'll bring in email addresses because remember, you have to have either an email address or a home address, or you cannot import into the program. First thing that I want to do is take care of this cell phone column. Remember, this is a spreadsheet. Unless you tell this spreadsheet that these are phone numbers, it thinks that they are mathematical equations. So when you see something weird like this happening, what you want to do is click on the letter above the column, in this case V. Right click. Come down to right here where it says Format Cells. And if you look down the left-hand side, you will see a whole bunch of different types of formatting that's available to you. If you click on Special, you're going to find a couple that you'll usually need. One is zip code, especially for those of us in New England, because our zip codes begin with a 0. And when you put it into the spreadsheet, the 0 disappears on you. If you change those that column over to zip code right here, that 0 will reappear for you. But in this case, we want the phone number. So we're going to go special phone number and hit OK. And now you see what happened. All of that weird text went away. Okay? So basically, once I have this thing done, I'm going to save it. So I'm just going to say File, Save As. Brokermetrix. I have to make sure that I leave this as a CSV. See where it says Save As Type? That needs to be kept at CSV. And then I hit Save, and it's going to ask me this question. Do you want to continue to save? Always answer yes. Okay, now that we've saved it, now we have a spreadsheet that is ready to be imported. So we are going to go right back into the Import tab in eEdge, and the first thing that we're going to do is assign it to a group. Now what you'll have to do to assign your groups before anything else is create your groups. So let's just say that we're going to make a group for cappers. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, hover over Contacts. I'm going to go to Manage Groups. And right up here where it says Create New Groups, I'm going to type, if you remember, we did A, cappers. Save. A, half cappers. Save. And so on and so forth. Okay, but for right now, I'm just going to do those two. So you want to come in here and make your groups. And if you remember, they were A capper, A half capper, A quarter capper, A new. Then we had B traditional, meaning they're coming from a traditional office. B non-traditional. And then we had C. You had C residential, C commercial, C luxury. Then you had D, which was kind of like your definers, which would be like your vendors and your core advocates and people like that. For right now, I'm just going to say the list that I brought in as a list of the cappers that I've targeted. So now that I have the group in there, I can go back and import this group of people into my capper group. So let's go back to Contacts, Import/Export, and we're going to answer 4 questions. First of all, assign a group to imported contacts, and we're going to pick our group. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to A, cappers. In other words, this group is going to automatically be brought into the group cappers. I'm going to set their contact status. Now, based on where you're at with these people, will determine your status. But if these are people that you've targeted, and they probably are, we're going to say active. If you remember that from the class, we said that retry would be just a list of everybody, whether you know them or not. Active are the people that you've targeted, and hot are the people that you're in relationship with. Okay, so that's kind of what we went with there. Set contact type. I'm just going to set it to agent, okay, and then it says select a CSV file to upload. Keep this at custom CSV because this is what that template that we used was a custom template. So we leave number 4 at custom CSV. Then it says select the file to upload. I'm going to hit browse. I'm going to go to where I saved my file, which in my case is on my desktop, and here it is, Brokermetrix. And as long as I didn't change anything, when I hit import, it should start the import process for me. So that's what we want to see. And what we don't want to see would be a pink box up here that said that there was an error. If you see an error, the odds are you changed something in the template, or you tried to import a list of names that didn't have either an email address or a physical address. But as you can see, this imported successfully. Now, it's successfully imported, but it hasn't actually finished the job yet. As you can see right here, 12/19 is when I'm making this video. It's still running, okay? So this will run. So as I go down this page, I can see this job here was completed. 31 people went in. Nobody failed. This job was done, but with errors. 51 people went in. 2 failed. And if I want to see why those 2 failed, I just click on them. I can click on that number 2, and it will tell me this guy failed because he's blacklisted, and, well, so is this guy. So those are blacklisted. We probably won't see that happen with your Brokermetrix. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a couple of minutes, and what you want to do is just every now and then just hit refresh at the top of the page, and when this is done, it will say complete. It'll tell you how many went in and how many failed. So after a couple of minutes, we'll go back there and check on that. In the meantime, we can start setting up our campaigns. Okay, so now what I need to do is turn on a campaign, which I'm going to do in the next video. So stay tuned, because the next video will show you how to turn on the campaign and put that entire group in there. Thanks.